Manmana bha, manmana bha, manmana bha. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I am sure that since yesterday, after listening to BapDada, you all must be reflecting, be in that experience, and also looking at yourself, that am I constantly in loveful stage? We know, and Baba assured us, Baba has love for us, and we also responded by coming here that Baba, we have love for you. And I definitely would say that it's Baba's love that makes us not only making efforts but doing surveys or whatever our assignments are, is really the energy and the power of love. Yes, we all agree. I mentioned yesterday that now we have to always think of that I am taking air love, right? Flight air love, 1 or 0, whatever. Because Baba said it's that airline or that enthusiasm is the power of love which helps us to reach Madhuban, Shantivan. But what Baba wants from us, which I think we all also want, is to be consistent in love, constantly in love, merge in love, or to be loveful. And if you look within that, there is love, but sometimes because through our mind and intellect, we have to do whatever, but we get more involved, sometimes more entangled, and so that feeling of love, that closeness reduces, percentage reduces. So then, as Baba said, that you have to be constantly in love, not sometimes. So what yukti Baba gave for that? What Baba wanted us to do. It's very interesting sometimes when Baba says something, it takes quite a while to relate to it, to experiment with it, and then kind of start believing, and then we start using it more and more. And that was Baba said, you have to be great donors. Mahadani. There is difference between a donor, then there is great donor, then is donor of or giver of blessings. No? Dani, Mahadani, Vardani. I always remember 3. That we all are Dani, donors, Mahadani, great donors, then Vardani also. Because that's also we have to share a lot with each other. And Baba explained about that the newness, of course, we have to bring in service, but in our efforts also, one of the newness is that how do we serve through thoughts, words and actions. It's very simple to hear this, that I have to give power through the thought. But how? What is it? How do I give power through the thought? And I think these kind of workshops or conversations are very important, because can't have in this big gathering everyone just reflect on that. How do I, through my thought, how do I give power? At least I had to take quite time to understand, and then I said, okay, let me try. Are you connecting? We together, right? Did you think about it? Or do we give power through the thoughts? Anyone has any answer? Any particular way that this is what I do, and this is the thought I create, and I feel that I am giving, or other one is being empowered. Anyone reflected on that? How many of you really, since yesterday, reflected on Murli? Can I see hands? Most of you did. Huh? Because whatever, I was sitting here and there was Avyakt BapDada right in front, on television. And I was, of course, 100% attentive. And it's so interesting that every word he was saying not only make meaning, but great understanding. But then I took lot of time. Today even I was in meeting most of the time. But still I was reflecting on how do I, through my thought, give power to someone. Let's say somebody is discouraged or somebody is going through something. So how will my thought give power to that soul? Yes, you got the mic?
Hello. So if I experiment with that thought, put it into practice and experience it, then that experience gives it power and I can then repeat that experience.
Anyone else? Yes, here is one brother.
Yeah, the practice that I have is that I just experience the self to be completely light. It's almost like, if you think of those movies of aliens. So that being, because we're from the faraway land, so then connecting, it makes the connection with Baba really easy. And then to take the mind to wherever the vibration should be, because each soul is connected anyway. So my experience is that thoughts can travel over a huge distance very quickly and effectively.
Yeah, the method is, of course, soul consciousness, connecting with Baba. But I'm still thinking how that soul got the power. I can understand when people send vibrations of peace and vibrations of love. But my question is how that soul gets power. You send vibrations of love, vibrations of peace, so you can see souls respond to that. But how that becomes power for the soul, that thought? Anyway, think about it more, but that's really for me is, I'm deeply going into that and seeing that, as I said, I know that if I am in peace and I send vibrations of peace, in the stage of Baba's love, you send vibrations. But how do you give power to the soul? Baba said that's most needed. Yes, one brother raised hand, someone.
Sure.
Yeah.
I emerge that soul, the other one, and then emerge Baba as well. Then I remind that soul that if he is not courageous, that remind his Adi and Adi Sanskaras that you were that, not that. So that when he has a connection, I connect Baba with that soul and is thinking of these things, and then one of the sanskaras or that I speak out.
I can understand the method. I think we have common method. But I want to see how that becomes power for that soul. Give me some example of not that method. Let's say if someone is lacking tolerance or someone is lacking power to face, how my thoughts will give power to a soul. Anyway, reflect on that more. Any of our senior sisters have any thought, any Behn or anyone? Because Baba said power through the thoughts, and of course we know knowledge through the words, and then virtue through the actions, which I understand very well. All the time I find that if any soul is very impatient, then you remain patient, and that's you donating a virtue. Someone is not happy, you remain happy. Whichever quality is lacking, not only within the souls around you, but in the whole atmosphere, you can send through the vibrations, or practically be an example where instead of saying, you don't have patience, you don't have this, you don't have this, but be an example so other person looks at and say that I look at that soul and my patience came back, or I experience that I have a lot of love. And I have many experiences with Adi Prakashmani, that how she won't say much, but it was her actions and virtues in actions were kind of donation or example or inspiration for me to see her. One time she was sitting, a few were sitting, very seniors, must be 40 years ago, so. And this person was saying things to Dadiji. It should have been done like this, it should be like this, and you should act like this. And we felt that he's going over, and we thought that he should stop here. And anyway, Dadi didn't mind. Went on for a while, and then we asked Dadi, didn't you mind anything? He was saying, Dadi said, I was testing my powers. Are my powers working? My power of tolerance working? My patience working? So it was like she was showing the example of using virtues in actions. There are many situations I can think of where I saw Brahma Baba, saw Adi Prakashmani, and how, one of the fundamental principles we have to practice if we want peace is non-violence. Whether it's non-violence in communication or non-violence into our any response to the situation. And I remember we had a situation when we were new in New York. The area we were quite challenging in terms of violence around, gang violence, and a lot of things were happening. And some of the children of the neighbors will do some of the very strange things around the center. So anything happen, one thing people immediately say, call police. And I said, why are we calling police? One thing, because I don't want necessarily our address in police record, even why we want it. They say, no, we should. I said, no. Let's think about if we are creating peace, is there any another peaceful way? And one of that came up was talking to the parents of those children in the neighborhood and asking them that, are your children and why they doing it and all that. This way we will create a kind of relationship with neighbors, because after all they are supposed to be helping you, protecting you. And if their children are doing, and it was different ethnical groups and it did work. Many times I remember in New York in the beginning, I always, whenever there was supposed to be responding to a situation, I remember when Dadi Prakashmani said, for establishment of peace, you have to be peaceful and your ways have to be peaceful. And I never forget that in New York. I always remember that for establishment of peace, it is only through the peace. So it's as I'm saying, through action, the donations. But it's very interesting when Baba said, the great donor of time, also donation of time. What is donation of time also we have to think, because our all time is for service anyway. But then also these days I find lot of Baba's children are very engaged, either with their cell phone, with their computer, with their, of course, we need to do some administrative task also. But how do I, every time you see, most of the instruments are very busy. And they are busy mostly on computer, mostly on their phone, or making phone calls. And that one place, some came to me at one place, they say, whenever we want to talk to our instruments, she always, don't you see I am so busy? Why are you bothering me? Don't you see I am so busy? So I just talked to her, start chatting with her, without making her aware that somebody had been saying this. I said, when people are making efforts, they have situation, they will have to come to you, and you have to guide them and help them to sort out the situation. And that's not my assignment. Say, what is your assignment? To get things done. Things done, that's all. I have to get things done. I said, things done is second, then the people. I said, then people are done, because they won't come back or they will go somewhere else. So I realized that when Baba said donation of time, so you have to make it in such a way that you do everything, because you can't neglect anything. But how do you arrange your timetable in such a way that enough time is given to Baba's children? Some or other, it always happens that people are always neglected, and use of all what other things we're doing becomes more important, even if that's meant for people. So somewhere we have to reflect on that also. What is the donation of time? Baba said intellect, donation of time. Then Baba said happiness in contacts and relationships. Because they also don't understand peace, but happiness they do. So Baba gave us 5 things to be great donors, and I thought we have to not only think about it, practice it, because Baba said it's only if you want to be constant or consistently loveful, then you have to be great donor. And it's only by becoming great donors, what happens? What you achieve? It's a very big thing we achieve. Obstacle free. Makes you free from obstacles. Every obstacle first begins in your thought. If you are able to overcome the subtle obstacles which come in yoga of intellect, or in disciplining mind, or to have concentration and lot of things, like one of the reason if there is irritation or frustration is somewhere lack of that you were not able to have a mind, what we call it ekagrachit, have a total focus, concentration. So obstacle-free stage. If my stage is free from obstacles, then wherever I am instrument, there will always be obstacles, but that obstacle, like a storm can come, but if it doesn't hit you, hit your house or hit the city, it's okay, no? We have a big storm now in Florida last week. So the roofs are falling apart, everything is blown off. It's a big storm. So some people get storm or an obstacle and it blow them off, like their stage is not there, irritation, they are little upset, it's not a normal behavior of a good Baba's child, no? And we always think it's from you, because of you, you said it, my finger is all. But if you go within, something is lacking in you, whether you are tired, frustrated, didn't have good yoga, there is something, that obstacle is really from inside you. That is why I always, anyone around me, says things which are not pleasant, I said, please don't think that way, because if that happens, you will not be able to say it's from outside, it is from you. Never allow your energy at any level to go low so that external forces take over and create big obstacles. We don't realize that every situation which happens around us, somewhere I have to look within and see, am I part of that? That is why one of the fear I always have, if I am at Baba's home or in Yajna, not to even think something which is not right, which is negative, questionable, of doubt, because it can become a reality. Someone said, had difficulties at center, oh, I wish I could be at home. I smile, I say, please don't say it, because you don't know, you could be at home. And when you will be at home, you will always think it's because of others. But you won't know that it was your own thought one time. So we have to be very, very careful. That is why when Baba said that when there is love, the remembrance should be easy, natural. And it's only through remembrance that you can keep your energy level very light, enlightened, very, very beautiful, very active, very peaceful. Otherwise, external situation, which I think will never stop. Right? Once Dadi Gulzar said, until the last moment, there will be a situation and that will be your test. But if you fail, like yesterday Baba said, not only pass, but pass with honor in every situation. If you fail, then in the end, when you are about to become perfect, about to be like Baba, but any little situation comes, that could be cause that your stage fluctuated, or you had subtle doubt, or something like that, which could be like an obstacle. So obstacle-free stage, to get that, Baba said, remain engaged, very busy as great donor. So if we connect it with being loveful consistently, I have to be great donor, and if I am great donor, then I am free from obstacles. But also then Baba said, we all have lot of treasures inside, right? But one thing what we need to receive from everyone is blessings. Baba said, power of blessing. No, blessing really, good wishes everyone can give you. But when it comes to blessings, they have to come from the heart, not from the intellect, not because I have knowledge so I can give blessings. And I realize that is called, once some packages suddenly came, big packages in the house, very big. And they were outside, so we wanted to bring them in and see what is it. So I called one soul, can you come and help? She said, oh, I was just about to go to Baba's room, so I don't think I can come. Other soul heard that help is needed. So this soul calling me, do you need any help? I said, yes. Can I come? I said, sure. No, as soon as she came, she helped. What will come in my heart? Bless you. Because that was the moment help was needed. That is why Baba used two words, cooperation with Brahmins and donation with everyone else. We don't donate each other in Brahmins. But what we do, we cooperate. Everyone can be a leader, but any task is going on with enthusiasm, with full-hearted, just cooperate in whatever way you can do it. So let the task be accomplished. That spirit of cooperation within Brahmin family is something very important. Baba says Sayog, within Brahmin, Sayog. And for others, Mahadani. because don't give donation to Brahmins. So this is how very subtly we have to pay a lot of attention. That instead of getting caught up into obstacle, let me be great donor. So then you don't have any thought of any kind which is not pleasant thought towards any soul. So this is how I feel that it is something very, very important, that how do we keep getting blessings from everyone. Right? Not only keep getting blessing, but also keep giving blessing. How do we give blessing to everyone? Anyone does anything for me. What I'm saying, I see for yajna. I think in such a way that these souls, let's say somebody doing a lot of karma yoga, they need a lot of blessing so that they can continue to do. So I always kind of look at how everyone is doing service and keep giving them blessings so that they can continue to do, because there could be anything which for whatever reason they might not be able to do. But my blessings, somebody said, you really gave, I said, yeah, I wish the way you're doing it, continue to keep doing it forever. Because sometimes obstacles could be through body, sometimes through mind, sometimes through, any external kind of thing. So blessings should also be very, that's where I like Dani, Mahadani, Vardani. Of course, in one Murli Baba said, Vardani is one who comes from Vedanta. Like God has these universal principles for us, which are common whether we are BKs or not. And if I disobey those disciplines, I do not follow those principles, then capacity to be Vardani doesn't come. So I did a lot of thinking on how one can be Vardani. One of the way which I feel that anyone who comes to talk to you, you don't get your intellect involved. This must be right, this one is right, this is wrong. Who am I to judge that? But be detached, think of Baba, and see what response comes from Baba in form of knowledge. Because while listening also, you are creating some karmic accounts. Because that soul is blaming this one, complaining about this one, saying about it. And I don't have that kind of karma with them, and I am listening all that. So how to be detached and see that how, in a very beautiful way, you create something which I call more as a blessing, as a Vardani. Bringing Baba while listening. I am telling you that 90% things are done once you bring Baba while listening. As soon as that person has said something, it's get done. And people say, it's your blessing. I say, no, it's not my blessing, it's Baba's, because I created Baba's presence while listening. So you were talking to Baba, and Baba was responding to you, not me. And then because, now is not much, but being trans messenger, a lot of people will call just for, can I get Baba's, any thought about this or all that. But I just say, when you are speaking, I create Baba's presence. And I feel that Baba listen, and whatever way Baba can help you, give you direction, Baba will give you. Because even giving direction is taking a lot of responsibility. And you cannot really take people's lives responsibility because you don't know what kind of karmas and everything comes on. So when you are listening, be detached, create Baba's presence, and then you listen and you see how you become Vardani. Everyone will come to you. They won't ask you anything. We just want your blessings. Even we say it's Baba, but they say at least something you can say also. So Vardani, Dani, Mahadani and Vardani. So I feel that as Baba said that if you cannot do any service, big service, programs, all that, but everyone can at least do service through the thoughts or by giving blessing to others. So I thought that Murli was really something where all of us are looking for what new I can do. And then Baba said, your stage should be free from labor, no laboring. But he kept using one word which is called Rajayukt. No, Rajayukt means, some people say tactics. No, Raj is like what is the secret, what is the importance, what is the significance of each point of knowledge. Like if you apply drama, so you know that it's based on karmas. Baba is the director, so there is a Raj. You understood the secret. So when a scene is happening, you remain quiet because you don't want to get into all that scene of drama. Because you are Raj Yukt, you are able to be Yog Yukt. I don't have to comment on everything. I don't have to say things about everything. Why? Why should I? Because people all the time comment about people, about this, and all that stuff, and I feel that we don't realize. So Raj Yukt and Yog Yukt are very beautiful words, where with Brahma Baba, whenever any situation came, some situations you can say because mistakes are made, but this was situation which we could never think of happen in Delhi, and Baba was there, Brahma Baba. And some or other, I was part of the host team. So when it happened, we wanted to see what we should do, so we will go to Brahma Baba. And Brahma Baba in that room in Delhi had a round pillow, and he is sitting there. And for us it was like a prince sitting on this globe, and deep silence. We went once, he was in deep silence. Went second time, he was in deep silence. We went third time, he was in silence. And it was so much silence. We came back, but we had answers. So whatever had to be done, we had to do a lot of things in action. But we were guided. Not only that, we were empowered by Baba's silence. In silence, he was making things okay. In silence, that big obstacle which came, like you could feel that his power is helping to remove that big obstacle. So I think this is also when Baba said remain merged in love, or it could be silence, we have to use more and more power of yoga and power of silence. We can sit and talk about issues, we can sit and talk about a lot of things. There could be some solution, but they can never be completely resolved. Baba said, unless you are merged in love, in silence, then Baba said you will become image of solution, not problems. Image of solution, not problems. Because in silence, with Baba and the purity, the power which everyone received around the atmosphere was so charged that no one can have any waste thoughts. Why this happened or this happened, nothing. It was total silence all over. And that is because Baba knew. Baba always used to say there will be obstacles in yajna. But it's not that Baba had any obstacle, right? Many situations I saw in front of Brahma Baba or Dadi Prakashmani, but it was through power of silence. And that is why also we were thinking it is important at all the centers, if it's possible, once a week or half a day, there should be total silence. Energy of tapasya. As much we have Raj Yukt and Yog Yukt, then I think that, as Baba said again last, what is your aim now? What you want? To be Bap Saman. And then also, like Baba said, what new to do in the service is to give experience. Anyone who has experienced something will not forget. You give a lecture, you tell a story, people will always quote your story, not the points of knowledge. They always say, it was such a beautiful story, this one. For us, there are stories of yagya. We don't tell Lokik stories, but we have a lot of stories of yagya. From Dadi Janki, from our own time we have spent in yagya. These are real lifetime stories, and they are very, very inspiring. I remember Dadi Janki in Peace Village tell many stories she will tell. And we used to say, so only grandmothers tell stories, right? She has so many stories of this Dadi, that Dadi, advanced party, lot of stories. And we used to feel, let her share, because who else will share? A lot of people are so focused on themselves, they don't even look at the story around them, no? But there are many of us who learn from our seniors, from our ancestor souls, and every situation there is a lot of learning, and these are real stories which we share as examples in our talks. So the aim really for all of us is to be merged in Baba's love constantly. Yeah, it's possible. Is that what we want? Show me hands. This is all we want, to be merged in Baba's love. But today, few times, whenever I had time, I was trying to internally go and feel Baba's love. Not it's in intellect that I love Baba, Baba loves me. Feel that love. Experience that love. And when you have that love, then your sweetness, your loving nature, your gentleness, all is coming from Baba's love. Love changes into many forms. It's generosity, it's forgiveness, so many things. So I think that we will sit with Baba, but first is feel that love. Don't intellectually churn on it. How can we churn on what is love? Love has to be experienced. And all of us, I think, in our lives must have not only Baba, but let's say if you love something, how often you think about it. So when Baba connects love and remembrance not as intellectual exercise or yoga or meditation. That's why these days I don't say let's meditate, let's remember Baba. Let's remember Baba. We don't meditate. We say yoga bhatti is this bhatti. We need what is remembrance. And for that what is important is Baba's love. Right? Okay. Let's remember Baba now and be merged in love. In the beginning maybe you can reflect on some thoughts, but then after that stay merged. Baba is ocean of love. Because it has lot of healing power. It can heal you from any sorrows, any hurt, anything lacking in the soul. Baba fills it with that love. Right? Should we spend time with our beloved Baba? Be in love.